half an hour of adverts to do.
I did it pretty fast last night.
Cheeky besom.
I think the canaries and the animations on. Hello!
Literally the first sound everyone at home heard was, I did it fast last night.
Yeah, well, fourth kid on its way.
Oh, God.
So, I fucking hope not. Jesus Christ. Right. Welcome to Heavyweight Gaming. We play Dungeons & Dragons on Pathfinder and Carbon 2185 and Vampire. And we've done some one-shots like the Masks, Tales of the Loop, other stuff. You could go check that out on YouTube. There's hundreds of thousands of hours on there, stories of what we've done previously. Go check it out. If you are an absolute maniac and got lots of time, you'll love it, I promise you. If you can't, go to Spotify, search Heavyweight Gaming, Heavyweight RPG Fables, Heavyweight RPG When Glory's Not Enough, and you'll get to see the two D&D campaign, or listen to the two D&D campaigns on Spotify as a podcast. Well, it's cool. It means you can listen to them while driving, cleaning, working, whatever you're doing. So yeah, we are on Instagram and we're on Facebook and we're on Twitter. If you go there and put in Heavyweight Gaming or follow the buttons under the stream itself or the links that appear in chat, you can find me shouting about when we're going live, what we're planning on doing, what I'm writing about, what other folks are writing about, and just all things that we've got going on in our lovely nerdy world. If you want to join us on Discord, press the button underneath the stream, or press the link, or just go on Discord and look for Heavyweight Gaming Server. Come and join us. We just talk absolute waffle. 99% of the time it's nerdy. We share maps, we share ideas, homebrew ideas. We just talk about geeky stuff, games we play, all that good stuff. Books. We've got a little book corner now. Who knew that nerds read? So, go check that out. Samson, with your quiet inside voice, child. That's right, you put them eyebrows away, lad. So you go check us out and all of that stuff. We got sponsors. Loki Battle Mats. They are brilliant at making maps, giant book of maps that you just flip out on the table, and you've got tundras and castles and taverns and towns and magic circles and forests and river crossings and lava lakes. Really, really cool stuff. Go check them out. You can see the link in the chat. They also, every Kickstarter they do is super, super successful. They've done a sci-fi Kickstarter. They're doing an adventuring Kickstarter full pack. They've got all the tokens for it, the adventure itself, all the maps to go with it. That's coming out at the minute. Go check them out. They're super, super cool. Coyote Grey, badass little chibi artist, does other artwork, but I love his chibi work. If you go to Roll20's marketplace, type in Coyote Grey, you'll see all his chibi pack tokens. He's got a cyberpunk one. His newest one that's only just come out and will be bought this evening when I log in is an apocalyptic one, and then he's got about 9, maybe 10 like high fantasy packs. They're really, really cool, and as an example of them, the little slideshow that's going on next to the Summerscape logo, they're the personal chibi tokens of the coconuts that you see before you. Also in the bottom left hand corner, or however your screen might be upside down, but the cover art is also done by Coyote Grey. Lots of time for him. Really cool little artist, really glad I found him. And when we do our Kickstarter for our source book, he'll be doing artwork for it as well, so yay! Summerscape, not a sponsor, but badass. They will be by the end of the weekend coming, I tell you now.
You keep saying this, but they don't.
I don't lie. All the time. So, Summerscape, they do really cool ambience. So, music, sound set, stuff like this. If you're playing around the table and you've got an electronic device that plays music and an internet connection, you can play the sound sets that they have there, like demon battles, taverns, port towns, storms, winds in the mountains, all sorts of stuff on there. Super cool for creating the ambience for your games. You play online like we do, get your players to download a web player app, or the web player app. Play your song, your music, whatever you want. They get to hear it. They can turn it up and down as they see fit. Boom, Summerscape. Other official sponsors that are amazing. Ashana. She's a glass crafter. She's across the big water. She's amazing. She's a super zen streamer. And she makes a ton of little glass miniatures. Things like dragons or sea turtles or murlocs from World of Warcraft. Or she did I think it was last week, she did a little hatchling dragon, little dragon wormling thing sat on an egg. It was ridiculous. It was so cool. And whilst you're enjoying the stream, she's super zen, chilled out, and will talk nerdy with you as well. So, also, coming to a stream near you at some stupid o'clock in the morning UK time, we are Ashana and her adventurers will be joining the Colossus gang for a short. They'll try and change it into a campaign one-shot. But we'll see how that goes and let you know all about it. Roughworks Creative. I mean, I'd love him to come to an expo or something. We're going to try and get him over next year for a special, this is what he actually looks like. If you go to Facebook, look for Roughworks Creative, you'll find him. Check out their photo albums. He never posts. We got to force him to do social media, but his crafting ability with woodwork and leatherwork is just phenomenal. Known the lad for nearly 20 years. Ridiculous. Too old for this shit. But he is super, super good at what he does. Please go check him out and send him a lot of love. If you message him, he will answer. He just never proactively posts because he's a nightmare living in a tree somewhere drinking whiskey. That's it for the sponsors, I believe. Right, if you go to Dungeon Masters Guild or DM's Guild, however the kids are pronouncing it these days, or follow the link in the chat, you'll get to see Tasha's Heavier Crockpot Bits and Bobs, which was the first release from the Heavyweight Gaming Gang of Nerds. They've drawn loads of cool stuff. They've made up loads of 5e source material stuff that you can use. There's 81 pages of it. There's subclasses, there's spells, there's artwork, everything a TTRPG player wants. It's amazing. It's brilliant. It's got 80 spells in there. Jesus. They're not Jesus spells. They're just normal spells. $9.95. 200 plus copies sold. It's brilliant. Whilst you're on the DM's Guild, if you search for Frank and Kenzie's Tradesfolk Compendium, a lot of the content in this book is a bit of a homage to small businesses, and you'll find Easter eggs relevant to our favourite sponsors, friends of the stream, and more. Less than $13. See what I did there? Makes it sound cheap. 13, not less than. Just go buy it, right? It's cool, it's brilliant, it's got loads of stuff in there. Buy them both. You'll never find a better source book for your 5e than them two until we release the third one. Just bits now? Yeah? No? Maybe we'll do the bits and then we'll do the
maybe
expo
there's a thing
stuff.
coming
We'll
up
do
this
the expo
weekend.
stuff.
Yeah.
Bits first. If you've got 200 bits, Lobo the Hunter, what's today's campaign about? I'll tell you in a second. So, 200 bits. If you want to throw 200 bits at this slot, they get a free reroll. Oh, not a free reroll, it's just cost you 200 bits. Do you feel sorry for the adventurers? Monkey Face. Donate 200 bits /cheers to give the party a reroll. They can't be used on the DM, that's me, or death saving throws. They don't roll over to the following week, but there's no longer a cap. So if you want to go mad, throw them at them, go loony, give them as many rerolls as you so wish. If you are evil and want me to have rerolls, it'll cost you 500 bits. So, again, there's no, we'll take it if you're going to give it, but don't feel like you have to. Games Expo, UK Games Expo, Birmingham, NEC, in 3 days, 2 days, 2 days, 3 days.
3 days for
ish.
Channel 4.
Maybonics! Thank you very much, Maybonics. Yes, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the actual UK Games Expo, NEC in Birmingham. It's the biggest one in Europe, I believe, board gaming convention in Europe. Check out their site, UK Games Expo right there. Eddie and Eddie. I'm Eddie. Eddie's the other bald one, a lot slimmer. We'll be sharing a table with Bardic Inspiration UK, which is Luke and Ari, or Mel and Kess, whichever way around you want it. Come and join us at their table. You can buy Bardic Inspiration's dice jails, cool little dice bags. They're scented candles, which our lass has got an issue with. I think she's got an addiction.
Probably not to open the stock box because she'll
oh, she's been smelling at it already. Her and Lucy just like little basset hounds all over it. Thank you, 13 Ghosts and a Kelpie. Oh yeah, you've come to the right stream tonight. So UK Games Expo. If you are there, please come along to Bardic Inspiration UK, and ourselves will be there. I'll show you the Dungeon Master screen that Roughworks made us. It's beautiful, and we'll talk to you about all things nerdy all weekend. Like, just walk past us. As soon as you make eye contact, we're on you, alright? So be warned, alright? Please come along, say hello, it'll be cool as folk. And R3 till R4
13 Ghosts and a
on
Kelpie.
Saturday.
I wonder who it is.
R3 till, is it R3 till R4? R3 till R4 on Saturday in the Meeples room. I'll be doing a 1 hour... This is our world build, or at least this is how I world built, and you should do it slightly different. But yeah, we'll see you then.
Heckling.
All the heckling.
Will commence.
I'm pretty sure Eddie's printed off a list of shit to shout at me, so that's going to be amazing. Right, what's this? What was it? Was it Lobo? Lobo. Right, what's this campaign about? 70 sessions ago, half of this lot, and they picked up a massive white lion and a... beautiful little not halfling druid. They've been hunting some bad stuff. There you go. Nice, done. Right, so if you watch Mondays, it's set in Atoria. If you've been watching Tuesdays, they started in a nation called Ravenholm. Ravenholm is very much a Gothic, Transylvanian, Romanian, fairy tale, Germanic land. They rocked around it for several sessions. They released a dragon soul. They got to speak to some demons. They got to speak to an ex. Someone's granddad died. A couple more people died. They ended up in the realm of souls, the realm of echoes. They released or brought back or allowed one of the echoes to come back. Turns out he's a bit of a badass wizard. They are leaving the badass wizard and going for a baddie wizard who's a blood wizard who killed all the fae with some magic spikes stuck in the land. I mean, it's not quite the Ruby recap, but it's, we're going for it.
Good enough.
And right now, as they were trying to get back to
got
killing...
the document if you want me to do it again.
You should definitely put that up.
But it only covers from when Ruby left Tywell, which is about halfway.
You should put it up in
Halfway
Discord.
through this campaign.
You should put it up in Discord. So,
Remind me on the break. Remind me on the break.
Definitely put it up there. More recently, as I put on my Sirenscape music. Before we do the recap. Now, for some reason, the music sound set for this is called Lair of the Siren. I don't know why. It's just coincidence. Oh, we got another one. Hey! Sub. Thank you very much, Kelpie.
You're very welcome.
Is that you?
Who the fuck do you think it is?
Honestly. What? I don't know. I honestly didn't know it was you. I didn't even know it was you. I thought you already followed after 70 sessions.
No, I got locked out of my old account, so I've just been like vibing as a scrub the last kind of couple of weeks.
See, I didn't know that.
Now I'm paying us again. It's fine. It's fine.
And I don't know the 13 Ghost reference either, so.
It's okay.
Art page. It's fine.
It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. I'll forgive you.
I can't remember which one it was. Well, thanks for the sub anyway.
You're welcome.
There we go. Let me know if that's too loud or too quiet, chat. Right, so, more recently, as you were travelling back to Ravenholm, apart from Sapphire being spoken to by the true entities of death, just as a side note, Kespion was pulled by the call of a siren. More on reflex rather than on purpose. But this call brought Kespion to the Grove of the Kelpie, to an enormous lock in the Highlands of Tower. Beneath the surface, there was a town of sorts, made by the watery surroundings, and there are hundreds of water fae and just the natural water creatures of the lake. Kespion was introduced to Bry, a merfolk that led him to a castle. In this castle, he met Selena, the lady of the loch, and discovered that she was his sister, and that her crest, or the symbology of the castle itself, is a violet leviathan. Jenny Crayon has given you a reroll.
Thanks,
Jenny.
She knows we'll need it.
After a really smooth, fluid, social expert conversation between Kess and Selena, or
It's
all the
hereditary.
opposites,
What can we say?
the rest of the party were also called through Kespion's siren song. As per standard, Ari entered a fair realm and passed out. But you are left with Selena, agreeing to stay for a short while at least. Maybe get a bite to eat, wander the castle, look at the town. You are free. You are also aware that the call is something that other waterfae will be answering and attending the grove, as it were. Now, I believe we left it just as a casual You know, you're all in the castle. You're in the air bubble, so you can breathe. Selena's there. You're all there. You know, have at you.
I think we were in the process of like
Arranging things.
I was
I
gonna
just
say
got woken up.
slapping Ari awake, but
Yeah.
also arranging things.
I was like, so you see a squirrel made of stone walk past. No, you
We dive
you're
boots on.
you're in. What's the squirrel in SpongeBob? I can't remember. Susie? Is it Susie? Yeah,
Sandy.
you're Sandy.
Sandy.
There you go.
There we go.
You are in this hall that is, by the looks of it, usually used for folk coming to see, you know, the gaffer of the lands, or they present themselves to a monarchy or some such. Gaffer's a Colossus word. But yeah, you're in, and it is a very large air bubble is magically created in this hall for those that can't survive under the water. Harry is slapped awake. Harry, you wake up.
Good.
3, 2, 1, you're in.
Who was slapping Harry?
I think there was a queue.
It was so cute.
Who
Harry
was it?
wakes up with a black
Straight in
eye, a
front.
swollen cheek.
Bry's like, this looks fun!
Just fishtailing you. Well, she's got legs at the minute. Oh, they've got the legs at the minute.
I was just wondering what like vision that Harry's going to be greeted with as to.
Probably, if Harry looks left, it's likely Harry thinks he's in a dream. There's an incredibly striking, beautiful version of Kess staring at him. There's a
Oh my god.
incredibly...
It doesn't look like it wants to stab him in the
Yeah.
eye. Yeah.
So more smile to this one than the one you're used to seeing. A beautiful merfolk in their long green dress with their human legs because of the air. And to your right, this lot. Just staring down at you.
Most of us glaring daggers.
Yeah. Andrea's like looking at you. Where are them eyes going? Do not kiss them two first. So that's kind of what you see.
History
And
doing that or anything.
the surroundings, Harry, to be fair, are familiar to yourself. Like it's a large castle hall. Like it's not, and there's air. It's not like you're under the
I was
water.
gonna say he won't realise that he's under
No,
water.
yeah, not
So
even.
cool.
I mean, if you look at the doorway, it looks like it's flooded, but yeah. So you wake up in a castled hall with this lot and two new folk.
How did we get here?
We walked.
You could walk from Ravenholm to Tower.
Ruby did it.
Ruby did it, and
Blind.
now we've done it.
We
Blindfolded.
went through a tree again.
Actually, we didn't go through a tree.
No, it was a pond this time.
Hmm.
You walked into the pond.
Yeah, but same
Same
No,
thing. Same
no,
difference.
Sapphire, one is a tree.
The other
right,
is a
what
pond.
made of wood, and one of them is a pond, which is water.
same effect. I
No,
still
one is solid, and one is a fluid.
my fur is still dry, so I'm fine.
Akari and somewhere's laughing that Drea's pointing out the difference
Yeah,
between a solid
Ruby
tree.
just hears some distant sniggering. But,
Regardless.
well, Ruby looks down at him and goes, "Well, we were going to bed. You fainted, and then Drea heard singing.
You also heard singing Harry before fainting. Just so you know.
And then, well, Saf and I couldn't hear it because we're not Fae. But yeah, it turned out it was Cass and his sister. So we've come back to Toa by...
Selena waves at you, Harry. At the
Hang
mention
on.
of sister.
Hang on. So,
Still reclined on the floor.
Just up on the elbows.
with his hand like
Looking like a Diet Coke, Albert, as ever. Hair flowing.
always.
Bri blushes and looks away.
But face it.
We hear that a lot, says Selena.
Well, you can't use the phrase face shit for much longer.
Yeah, that's
Are you? Would you like help standing?
I'm okay.
Oh.
So just get up.
Really awkwardly.
Yeah, very awkwardly. It's not.
Yeah.
Feel like we've possibly got a lot to discuss.
An awful lot.
Yes, possibly. It's been a while.
Should we perhaps venture off out of this room?
If you care for, if you're hungry or thirsty, or we can go into the eating hall. Bri can arrange for the bubbles to follow us. So I don't believe you can survive under the water. And just looks at Sapphire, Ari, and Ruby. Sorry, you are of summer. My apologies. Are you hungry or thirsty?
I mean, we did just sort of eat and drink before attempting to go to bed, so...
It could be good to have a sit down.
Sit down, though. Yes.
For
I was raised by halflings, I'm always
Good point.
This is a bacon boy
I
going.
don't want to be rude and refuse hospitality.
Well, we have a lounging area. We can always go there and relax and talk, and Bri can arrange refreshment if you so wish.
That would be wonderful, thank you.
And Bri kind of just stands up straight, beaming smile. Every now and then looks at Harry. Harry, give me a wisdom saving throw.
He's gonna sleep with Brian. He's already slept with Brian.
Roll a d6.
oh no.
What do you get?
So we know how we love the wisdom saving throws with a 5.
Oh my god.
He's got a kid with
consistently. Consistently.
You've got a reroll, but are you
That's
doing
with the
that?
dragon. I'm not using.
No,
a reroll.
you told us to open roll 20. Ain't nobody using no rerolls yet.
No.
That's true.
I got slightly
He said
higher
this
than a
wasn't what
5.
the issue was. It's a
It's PvP.
So-
Free is about to.
As you're all
Echo.
walking away, Bride just casts you a glance, Harry, and you feel your cheeks go warm on your face. I feel I have to clarify. And you all follow Bri out.
Don't stick our name in the sword either.
It just turns out it's a
As
tragic love
hissed
sword,
by-
is this sword. Going through a hallway, the water, as you get to the doorway, the water parts, full on Moses, just parts and gives you a channel of air to breathe as you walk down the corridors. There is a wall of water before the actual stone walls themselves. If you really wanted to, you could put your hand through the water and touch the stone and then pull your hand back out. But immediately where you're walking, there is a channel for you to walk through and breathe. Within minutes, you navigate just following Bri, and they take you to a very large lounging area in this castle. There are long sofas. There are a few single armchairs that could easily fit 2 of you. There is a massive hearth that is not lit, surprisingly, under the sea. There's just a Sebastian lobster crab dude with a machete. You see this hearth. It is set to be lit. It is full of woods and charcoals and such, but it is not. Bri kind of walks around as if shooing the water away, and the water begins to move and part as if it is, sentient, but it moves away and creates a dome within this lounging area. The decoration for you, Ari, as well. Most places where you go, either the stonework itself or small statuettes and stuff on pillars and that are of a serpentine, like leviathan creature, and where possible, there's a coloration of violet on the scales of this leviathan. When you get into this lounging area, there is a large painting above the fireplace, like a tapestry. And it is of what appears to be a large family of very obvious DNA of Kesvion and Selena. And you can see maybe 6 adults. There's about 14, 15 children of varying ages, from young teenager down to babe, just like stood very portrait-esque of this large family. And wrapping around them in the background is that Violet Leviathan in the Highlands. It's a picturesque of the Highlands, and this Leviathan seems to be weaving around the hills. And you are, well, sat. Selena sits. Bry
Sorry,
asks.
I was going to say, as you come into the room, Ruby will sort of hang to the back and sort of like touch Selena on the hand, and quietly, as the others move ahead of them, look up at them and say, "This must be very hard for you. Will you be all right?"
I should be. It's a lot, and there's more happening than I expected, and it's happening after I thought it would never happen. So, but thank you for your concern.
If it helps, he was raised by good people.
I believe you.
Ruby will give her hand a little squeeze.
She gives a little squeeze back, and then sits in one of the armchairs. There's more than enough seating for you to sit, lay, lounge, you know. Bry kind of just stands there. Would anyone like anything to drink then? You said you'd yourself, and just gestures at Ruby.
Don't go to trouble for me. It's just you kept mentioning food, and I thought if you're hungry, you know, I'm not gonna.
It's unlikely you eat what I eat, but we have food if you are hungry. Or drink. It's, you know, no. I'll just stand here until you need something.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Ruby's just sort of like frozen because she wasn't expecting to be put on the spot as the first one. It was literally that sort of, you know, if you visit in a halfling place, it's like either food is just given to you, or they're already eating, and
Harry's on the Fables ship vibe right now. It's like
Selena
don't eat
gestures.
anything, don't drink anything.
Selena gestures to Bry to sit, and Bry takes a seat. Where do you sit, Harry?
On one of the sofas.
Cool. Bry sits opposite you on one of the other sofas.
boy.
I mean, it's not like here opposite, like it's a large room, but they are opposite you. And you are currently, until I tell you otherwise, a little bit under their charm. So, roleplay as you see fit.
Go.
Why are you naked, Harry? Well, I'm just saying. Sponsored by. So I'm assuming the rest of you sit, or are you just all going to stand?
No, sit.
Kess will have been quite distracted by this sort of grand portrait when they've kind of come in. He's didn't look different from like the people that he grew up around, but like such an intense familial resemblance, and on such an intense scale, has just somewhat enraptured him. He's just staring up at all the faces of all these people that feel like they should be familiar but aren't.
Sapphire sat cross-legged on one of the sofas.
Just worked himself into a little bun wolf.
Yeah.
Pop, pop. Hide on the paws, hide on the paws.
Loaf time.
Selena stands and walks over to your side, Cass. Kind of looks at you, looks at the portrait, looks back at you. I will answer as much as I can.
I know.
It's a good-looking family.
I won't deny that.
I know I'm missing something. The scale of it is just so much grander than I thought. We should sit, and he'll go and take a seat. But it does kind of, when it is quieter, like does keep kind of attention drifting back to just, there's so many faces up there that it makes sense, but in the way that if someone showed you a picture in a house of people who look like you but just not quite, and you know that makes sense for that to be what someone has described to you, but to have no concept of like direct link at all. He's trying to pull something from nothing to try and make more contextual sense of it for himself, and kind of struggling at the moment.
As someone who grew up a good 2 feet taller than the rest of her family, Ruby shoots you as sympathetic. I understand how I would feel. I get it.
I mean, I suppose you've probably got questions as well, Selena.
I didn't think I would, but I suppose I do now. Would you prefer? Just kind of then looks at you all. Would you prefer the fire to be lit? It will. The temperature is quite. It's up to you if you wish a fire.
Ruby immediately turns to look at Ari. Ari is the delicate, temperate one. Ruby's usually
Actually,
Xandria will
actually,
not
I was
like
gonna
this.
say,
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Xandria's freezing.
Yeah, as soon as Selena says that, Xandria like actually starts noticing the temperature and does
Please.
kind of a little bit, and then actually I would much prefer it if you wouldn't mind lighting a fire. I am obviously far used to the desert and not the cold of a lock.
My apologies. Bri, if you would do that. Yes. Bri walks over to the fireplace, looks back at Ari and does this. And as they do that they beckon with their finger, fire just comes into the palm of their hands. And they just look at Ari and shoot it at the hearth. And yeah. Confetti everywhere. And a small bonfire manifests in the hearth. And it doesn't take too long to warm the immediate area, and like the lounging areas, the seats are close to the hearth, despite the size of the room. And then Bri returns to their seat and just keeps eyeballing Ari.
Harry keeps eyeballing that.
He's gonna lose an eye at this point.
Certainly is.
I suppose my memories of before I joined Summerbreezes are patchy at best. I mean, I was barely even a toddler when Drea found me. But were we close in age? Or you seem to remember so much more than I do.
I suppose I am older than you, but amongst our family, it's lifetimes to humans.
Of course.
You were but a babe when we sent you away, but I suppose to a human you were old enough to have your own being, your own personality, your cheeky smile, your mischievous ways, but still a babe to those not of our lifespan. Yes, you were very young. We had to send you away. Otherwise we'd have all have died.
But you left us as well. Where is everyone? It looks like there's so many of us, and but you seem to be here alone.
We used to be a big family. Gestures towards the portrait, but on that night, only I and obviously yourself survived, and I won't talk of how I survived for now. This is no need for that story, but we one of our a close friend, their name was Scene. They were a changeling, and they sacrificed themselves so you could escape, and they died that night. And those of the Vulture thought they'd killed all of us.
Those of the
Vulture is a
no, we've Drea wasn't Ozra, but why would
the Vulture is a entity of death. It's if a friend of yours follows them, it's not necessarily it is an interpretation of death that these particular followers followed. They hunted us for the magics of the Fae and our song. They were adamant it could call those back from the realms of the dead, and so they harvested those they killed and took. They were not happy to find that Scene was a changeling and not yourself. Our song is its most potent when we are very young.
The Sapphire's like almost visibly biting his own lip.
I'm so sorry.
It is.
You remember all this alone. That's a heavy weight to bear. I remember the howls of wolves and hiding under a bed and then waking up and seeing Drea. And that's all.
Some of them were shifters, and it was what gave them the advantage when they came through the castle. They were very absolute in their task, and yes, you did run and hide under the bed, and I remember seeing your feet. You were so calm, despite small whimpers, but I saw no fear in your eyes. And then when you had to go, Father put you to sleep. A slumber of sorts. And you travelled from the loch, along the rivers, to the seas. That was that. And then we turned and faced, holding Scene in our arms, mimicking yourself. And both Father and Scene fell. I wasn't there for everyone's story to end, but I did get to see the aftermath once I returned to the castle.
Kess will just get up and move across and just embrace her and just squeeze her tight.
She pauses quite awkwardly for a moment and reacts when you get the feeling there is this sort of embrace has not happened for a very long time.
Yeah.
A heartbeat or two passes and she embraces back. So good to see you, brother.
I'm so glad to be able to meet you.
Kesfion is a lovely name. You can let go of me now.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Just they're staring.
I don't mind us. We're merely just imagine we're not here.
We're not the best for subtlety. I apologise. This is strange and unexpected for us. Kind of gesturing between himself and Selena. So I'm sure it has my companions even more caught for a loop. And at that point, you might notice that Ari is not really paying attention to the main stuff that folk are paying attention to. And it's just like... You still feeling a little dizzy there, Ari?
I mean, you're well in, the know of your wits and such. It's just that
you're still very like a.
Bri is very appealing right now.
And it keeps like I feel like he's listening, but he's listening with like half an ear.
Yeah.
I love how it's not even one ear; it's just half.
They have a wee sort of.
Yeah.
Having a wee flirt with the eyes.
Yeah.
Never let it be said that Ari is not a brave man. Or stupid, depends on who you ask.
Would you kind of leans into you, Cass, and whispers to Selena? Would you like me to encourage Bri to leave your human friend alone? She's quite hungry.
It's probably not much good eating on him, to be fair. And him and Drea have a weird thing.
Oh.
It's probably not the best for wider family relations.
Understood. Bri kind of just like turns the head but still looking at Harry. Yes, my lady? Maybe you should go and eat elsewhere. Of course, my lady. Stands up. Just call if you require refreshments. Just walks past, strokes their finger along Harry's shoulder. Now, Bri, please. Sorry, my lady, sorry. And as they're walking away, you just hear a... And Harry, you're less... Like, you're kind of leaning over the chair watching, and then you kind of bring your head back round.
The clap was actually him overbalancing it.
Yeah. Sound effects.
I think he's probably going to sort of turn his head back around and be like,
Suddenly
shit.
turn around and make immediate eye contact with Drea and
Yep.
just...
Might
Bri...
actually been better.
We're watching the colour drain from Harry's face with interest.
Bri gets to the water, dives like almost like through the wall of water, and as they do, their long dress becomes their green fishtail again, and off they swim.
Hey, bullshit.
I'd have
I
to
thought
agree.
you were a pirate, Harry. Didn't you know? Didn't you know about mermaids?
All got to eat.
Just because you know doesn't mean you can resist. Well, how? I am lost for words.
I could make tea.
Feeling more reactive than proactive at this moment in time, and no, thank you. Tea's fine. Don't drink a lot of tea down here.
Just about the water's good for it though.
A lot of fish poo down here. And Selena smiles and then stops smiling as doesn't get the reaction she wanted. Except Andrea was just like, "That's brilliant!"
Oh, they share a sense of humour. That's brutal.
I'm telling you, scripted is. Me and Jade sat down for hours.
Whilst we were waiting to do the filming there,
yeah. What should we do?
Do the one about the fish poo.
We're just standing in a field watching Eddie, and me and Eddie just sat there like, it's a fish poo, that's a good one.
That'll be a good one. We'll slip that one in there.
I suppose the question would have to be, while we're here at least, have you noticed anything unusual happening recently? It's
that's a broad question. Regarding the Highlands, or
it's like we mentioned the demons before.
Yes.
It's- They've
What is your, and kind of just as your opinion of fiends? I know they are, or at least a collection of them, as Gasfion described, causing a bit of bother in Ravenholm. But are you demon hunters or fiendish slayers?
Kess is kind of going, that's kind of weird question, but it's also like kind of like looking at stuff.
Yeah, like Ruby's just sort of like sliding her eyes over to Sapphire.
Sapphire is literally just kind of grinning
wolf,
with
like-
Iron Rebuke on his back, just like lightsabering.
That was my. I mean, I suppose that is still my job. I was on a bit of a secondment, but yeah. But it's becoming less of a demon hunt because they seem to be everywhere at the moment.
Everywhere.
We were companions with a while with an Oni, Orion. It's
She perks up a little bit at the mention of that.
it's complicated. Obviously there are people with lineage, but there seems to be a larger issue with a particular sect that seem to be, to excuse the pun, hellbent on taking Ravenholm and anywhere near it
Do they?
and
And
razing
not-
it to the ground.
Not even necessarily near it.
Does this sect go by a particular moniker or?
The vibrant and the pale.
The Order of the Pale?
You've heard of them as well?
I have heard of them. Yes. They are a fiendish equivalent of a holy order. They, I believe they follow an ancient death deity or some such, or patron, or something to do with.
I think Sapphire
Three of
has
them. Yeah.
had a run-in with someone when he had tried to return to his home, and they had destroyed the place.
And it's interesting you talk about the vulture and the interest in bringing things back from the dead, because they were specifically going after a monk who specialized in healing using our methods, because they believed he was strong enough, his energy, his life force was strong enough that they could revive or give body to these embodiments of death.
They would have to be very potent in sort of techniques, magic. I don't know what your people call it, but to pull. I know that's what. It sounds similar to what the shifters and we're trying to get from our family, but I mean, you've seen the potency of our song. Like, I don't know how that matches against your teacher, and that was a long time ago.
I had never seen Sensei Ren do anything quite that powerful, but this 20-foot demon that I came face to face with seemed pretty convinced that it was going to be enough, or at least part of enough to do what they wanted.
You stood before a 20-foot demon?
Only very briefly before hightailing it out of there, but yeah. It was, he was wearing a mirror around his neck.
Has
A mirror?
Sapphire mentioned that to the party before?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just
I
wondering if
think
we'd
it's always
ripped
in
him for it before.
It was when he was with
That's
your
so-
dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
He's
yeah,
got
yes.
more to tell you soon.
Yeah. Well, there's the time, Sapphire. Did and Selena sits kind of posture up. Did this mirror-wearing demon have a name?
Oh god, I remember it begins with a K.
It's a kicking K, but we'll go with it. Not a K. A
My
kicking
brain said
K.
Caduceus, but that's wrong. 'Cause
No.
sorry, I can't OC
No.
remember. I can't OC remember. It's been a while.
Give me a history check.
Oh no.
Surely
Okay.
Sapphire
That
would
sounded like a
remember, but
sad
Sean
Winnie the
doesn't.
Pooh.
Yeah.
Oh, father.
Did you tell us the name
Yeah.
of the demon?
You
Yeah.
all know the name of the demon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
actually-
what I was thinking.
That's pretty good. What was I rolling?
History.
Just
History. You need a 10 minute.
Oh, that's a flat. So 18, which is a flat.
Kelthias, the
Kelthias.
wielder of ravens within.
I will say that.
Wielder of Ravensbane.
Oh, yeah, because it
I'll
sounds
say-
like Kel'Thuzad.
Kelthias was that demon's name,
Okay.
and
I just
the mirror he was wearing had an aspect of a
I just-
three-part goddess, I think, or
Just-
death.
just a moment, please. And Selena kind of sits back in the chair, closes her eyes, and is trying to control her breathing. You, Kelthias, Order of the Pale. I have dry mouth. How stupid is that? Bry, and she calls to the just to the hall. Moments, seconds, and you see Bry just come through the body of water, through the wall of it as it hits the air, just land on her human legs. So, my lady, are you okay? You summoned me. Just bring me my necklace, please. Immediately. Of course. And Bry doesn't swim off. She disappears. Like teleport, dimension door, whatever arcane magic's used, she woof. Just a moment before we continue on. Poof! Bry reappears, and she has a silver chain, and on it is a small amulet in the shape of the Leviathan, and it is made from a single piece of purple stone. And she brings it over to Selena, and she puts it on. And so when she puts it on, when she clasps it behind her neck, her hair kind of goes woof, as if arcane force kind of goes boom from the
Yeah.
Just a gust. It's not like tucked back
It's
of her
got
head
a
off.
woomph to it.
It's got a woomph to it.
We've got a woomph to it.
It's got a wizard
comprehend
woomph.
the woomph. A wizard woomph.
As soon as she does that, there is a breeze that just radiates from her past you all. All your hair does the same woomph, and goes out. And Selena relaxes, like into the chair. But you can see and Bry now stands like Kesvion stands when he's in a guarded position. If Drea is, conversing with someone and he's eyes out, Bry goes into full guard mode. Not to you lot, just eyes out everywhere. They don't once look at you lot. They look all around the hall, and then back at Selena.
Selena.
Yes, Kesvion. And she's clutching the amulet.
I think you might need to give us some explanation.
So or I wasn't, but then on the night of the attack, or the day, or I can't remember now, but as I
When we were attacked.
as I said, everyone but myself and you, I discovered I was a sorcerer on that very day. Magic radiated from me that I didn't know I could wield. I didn't care. I used it and I escaped. And I travelled the Highlands as a siren, as a hunter of anything to survive that would fall for my call. And I was the stories that the Highlanders speak of for a while there, but that's not important. The origin of my power is fiendish in nature. I found and learnt with other sorcerers whose powers were given to them through bloodlines. Some were of a more physical nature, similar to how Bry was entertaining your human friend, or others were gifts into a family lineage, or some just an unwanted gift and then a demanded price back. It took me a while, and a fiend calling themselves Kelthias, wearing an amulet in the shape of a mirror, but wasn't quite, more shoddy craftsmanship of the amulet, but still a mirror, visited the grove and claimed I owed a debt for the fiendish power in my blood. I denied the debt. There was bloodshed. Kelthias swore to return, but took certain essences of our kith, and would haunt my dreams, or haunt my not dreams are they really if they're haunted, would gift me with nightmares of what happened to those essences, and turn them into a kaleidoscopic, vibrant, demonic fiend creature. And I would see these again and again. And then Bry here is far travelled and enjoys the company of the seas and the sailors upon the seas. And well, long story short, crafted me or acquired, and grabs and holds the amulet out and kind of lets the Violet Leviathan gem just sit in the hand. And it is it hides me from Kelthias' gaze and nightmares, but I have to take it off to sing. And I hadn't thought to put it back on until Sapphire spoke. Kelthias is not a very nice fiend. But I never paid the debt. I swear I never paid the debt.
What did they demand of you?
My voice, and all the voice of my family.
They must be truly desperate.
It was a long time ago. Doesn't fit. Maybe, well, who am I to say it's a long time for a fiend when we live forever?
our Sapphire's run-in with Colossus was a matter of days ago.
They've been searching for a long time.
And they seem to be getting closer.
I will help any way I can.
Well, I've encountered 2 of these beings that they're trying to give life to. Colossus, I think, said something along the lines of giving life. The thing that makes this so unique and difficult is that it's giving life to something that never had life. It's different from like necromancy or revivication magic. It's
new. It's a birth.
Yes.
There was only the arm that grabbed you when we were traveling.
When
Sapphire.
So, you know about what happened when we were in the realm of echoes. The thing that I thought was a vampire is one of these aspects. The one that I ended up bound to in order to escape them. It was, if not the same mirror that Colossus was wearing around his neck, but a very, very similar mirror. When I was in Vey, when I was travelling with your father, looks awkward between the 2 of them for a moment. You know what I mean. She managed to pull me out of my body, the kind of astral form that I take when I meditate and put energy into that meditation, and she managed to pull me out of my body temporarily. I managed to force my way back in, but she had some kind of connection to me.
The blood that you drank.
Yeah. When I was travelling through the trees back to Toa, you got pulled here by the song.
I remember before just waking up here like a tear in a void and this arm reaching out and
Yep.
pulling you through.
So I had made the assumption at the time that this was her pulling me back to have another conversation. Wherever I was taken, it wasn't actually her that did it. It was one of the other 3. Someone, I believe they're more powerful. This one that pulled me out of the transport. I'm not going to name them here because if there's one thing I've learned, it's the names have power thing. Looks around at everyone like yeah, I'm learning something.
Finally.
It's only taken 72 sessions.
71.
But they were jealous of the bond I had with their sibling. I think they're siblings. In whatever they might understand of the term anyway, but they weren't happy that I was connected to the other one and not them. And I was given a choice between remaining bound to their sibling or having that binding severed and a new one created. In exchange, I would get something that I needed in the future that I could call upon. And I accepted the new deal.
Wire.
I know, okay, I know what it sounds like, but there was some crazy logic to it. I was bound to this other one and I was getting nothing for it. Like, it sounds ridiculous, but I was thinking of others. If I'm going to be stuck, bound to one of these things anyway, one of these aspects of death, at least with this, maybe I could use it to do some potential good in the future for someone.
These come at a cost. Sapphire.
Of course, I know that, of course they do. But, like, I was already bound to an aspect of death. Like, being bound to another aspect of death, it didn't feel, at least this way, maybe something good can happen. Maybe I could stop them from doing a thing or stop them from claiming another loved one. I had to see an experience in a spiritual way, my sensei's essence ripped out of him and used for whatever their dark purposes are. I had to see him collected. I had to see my temple shattered. All the people I counted as siblings were dead, and to me, I was already in this situation. If I'm going to keep my soul being damned or whatever, at least this way, maybe I could do some good for someone else in the future. That was the logic in my head. I know I may have made things worse for myself, but I'm hoping this way at least, I mean, in for a copper, in for a gold.
I just worry what if this less powerful aspect could pull you from your body, what the strength of the pact that this other individual could not necessarily just do to you, but make you do to others.
Which is
ask of you and not give you a choice.
Which is why the first thing I've got to say to you all is, if anything like that does start going down, you take me out. Like, there's no question, you take me out.
Bry kind of steps forward and goes, as in, kill you?
If that's necessary, sure.
Selena puts their hand on Bry's hand, just gestures them back. Bry nods and stands back.
It's like, go eat a cereal bar or something first, Jesus.
Get an ultra grain in you.
Like, go.
You're not normal when you're hungry. Have a Snickers.
You're like trying to eat the entire party. Like, pack it in. 2 minutes, Bry. Read the room.
Ari will very deliberately meet Sapphire's eyes and nod. He understands.
I've been ready since day one.
Drea has been.
That was kind of my hello to you. Yes, that is true, Drea.
At least Selena, Drea hasn't tried to meet you with a knife. That's how she introduced herself.
Oh,
I only
here.
If I just like waves warmly, but yep.
There was with good reason.
I was being creepy. I recognise that now. Didn't at the time.
Oh, well, all will be well then. If it don't feel too bad, Sapphire. We Fae are worse than any entity that a fiend may follow, and there is a element of confidence in Selena's voice.
That doesn't mean we don't encourage him to make better choices, though, Selena.
This is also true.
It's like, don't let him off the hook. We're only starting to make progress here. He's putting his little paw.
1 step forward, 5 back. Well,
maybe get a squish bottle.
What if? I mean, this is going to sound weird because I've only just met you, but You said that your necklace kind of helps cloak you from him. From stops himself saying the word just in case. From that horrible demon. Maybe there's some kind of magical thing like that can help keep the influence off me, or like looks around the group as if like, am I doing good? Is this good? Is this smart?
If, and it's only an assumption, if Calthias is a follower of something, then it is truly powerful. Calthias is not a minion of the realms of the Hellfires, and Calthias is, as humans would call, gods and celestials, demi-creatures. Calthias is that amongst the fiends, a paladin of extreme power. If whoever they pray, just kind of word doesn't fit. I'm unsure that such an item would exist unless it was made with the same power that they exist in. I'm not explaining myself very well, but
I understand your meaning.
I don't mean to shoot the idea down, and if I can find a way, Bri found a way for this, but I will try. But
A greater miracle than
it is
what you already have.
It is yes, the power you speak of.
Selena put their necklace on. It reminded me of your echo shard, and how when we crossed into the realm of echoes, yours pulsed in the same way.
It, like, it almost instinctively touches hand to chest, where I hadn't even considered that. It was, it helped me attract people. That pulsing, I hadn't really thought about that.
My amulet is attuned to the realm of fiends, to the plane of fiends, and works as kind of a misdirection rather than a cloaking.
Whereas mine would have been attuned to the realm of echoes and was doing the opposite, because I could feel when there were other echoes nearby.
Arcanely, that would make sense to have such items. Bri, if please bring drinks, especially myself. I am parched. Bring refreshments. You may drink or eat as you see fit. But while Bri is getting those, we're going to have a break. Because I want to get a drink and go to the toilet. Right. Please stay with us. And if you go away, come back. Go get your pals. Bring more people to watch. It's always nice when people are joining in our stories with us. So we're going to go have a quick drink. We'll be back in 10-15 minutes-ish. During the break, there is a small video advertising the D&D one-shot I'll be doing at GSCon in Manchester at the beginning of August. Go check that out. They're super cool. It's a charity con. It's sponsored by Emrys, known as Emrys Plays on Twitch, or Sandria in the bottom right corner. Super cool streamer, does a lot of variety stuff. Go check her out. If she's sponsoring the con, if you go to the con, get your ticket, put in the code Emrys10, you get 10% off, and she'll sign your underwear. It's brilliant. So, see you all soon. Well, 10 minutes. See you in a bit. Break time was the break time. the little animations going. They can hear, hello people, we'll be with you after the animation. Because I love law stuff. Good for you, Clockwork. I know what Clockwork is. Right, we're back, apparently.
No Kelpies in Colossus.
No Kelpies in Colossus.
Colossus.
Wait until I release the No Dragons in Colossus t-shirt. It is absolutely amazing.
Can't wait.
It looks so good.
Oh,
So cute.
she's currently working on my coconuts. Which is a sentence I never thought to say about Friday. Don't tell her that. Right. Just before the break, you've had a lovely conversation, and you've discovered that Kelthias is responsible for Selena's fiendish bloodline and her sorceress magic.
Lovely is probably hers. An interesting adjective to choose.
You are aware that Selena wears an amulet to keep Kelthias' gaze from her magically. Sapphire has shared moments of his interactions with two of the true. And Ari nearly got eaten by a mermaid. So, all in all, standard Tuesday.
Standard.
As refreshments are brought to you by Bry, who is quite reluctant to leave Lady Selena's side, but does, hits the water, fishtails it, comes back, and brings, a tray of a silvered tray with several silver goblets on it. There is a dome of air over the tray, so when they bring it through the water doesn't spoil the.
Just sploosh.
Yeah.
Just sandwiches floating out.
Yeah. I'll be in a little fishnet
But
behind.
really
Catching them in a fishnet.
sandwiches.
It's watercress. What can I say? So you.
Way.
That fight, two fish got battered. So they bring over the tray of drinks protected by magic. And there's a jug of wine and a jug of water to go with these empty goblets. Selena immediately pours herself, or from the largest goblet, all the wine that will possibly fit in the goblet.
That's a fucking mood.
It's one of them large glasses that fits a full bottle in. Just.
What, the ones that have just the one glass and jaunty letters on them?
And she sits there, and the wine is a deep, deep purple colour. Help yourselves. And she sits back down. Bri returns to their guarded stance at Milady's side.
Guess we'll kind of motion around the table and
Sandria cracks
pour
out a
out for
donut.
some. Yeah.
Is that done? No, Sandria has gone for a large glass of wine.
Okay.
Ari's weirdly gone for water because he doesn't trust himself now.
Now?
Now.
Look, if Sapphire
Give him
can
a
take
bit.
steps, so can Harry.
Yeah.
It was something in the water that almost got you, though. Just wanted to join in.
Yeah. So what now? Are you gonna face Kelthias? That's madness.
Well, I suppose somewhere down the line he would be along the path of destroy. We have a list. It's getting extensively longer.
And higher than our pay grade.
There's some kind of wizard dragon combo going after him at the moment anyway.
Okay.
Wizard dragon?
Oh no, one I don't remember what Artigan is. But I and the dragon's in a Warforged Soulforged thing now, so
Do you remember he said about your Tathran in the Warforge?
I don't, for some reason.
it's okay. When I was
I never think of Artigan as a wizard.
Arterian.
Arterian. Why do you
Look,
You need to find.
I created Arterian
Calm down.
before they created maybe years ago. Arterian's been in Colossus for years, alright?
Arterian. This is why we call him the corset
If I ever
guy.
meet them, I'm shaving his head.
No, you can. I think that might be a crime.
Is anyone else getting Telly's Barber vibes from Link's response there?
Yeah, Arterian. I never, for some reason.
Well, we don't know if he is a wizard or not, really, do we? We don't know a lot about him, only that he follows Natathrun around.
I pretty much
Who's
call-
Arterian and who's Natathrun?
Natathrun Sasha's
It's like just a full body size from like most of the party deflates.
Natathrun Sasha is the name of the dragon that they put in the wall that Kess and Ari have since let out.
Kess, I believe, did tell me of the dragon leaving the wall.
And Arterian is their companion.
No?
And
And they
Guardian, lover, close friend.
Relationship currently unknown.
that is
Companion.
That was a journey. Okay, well, are they going after Colossus, you said?
Yeah, when I was in Vey and I was, running away from Colossus, I came across Arterian putting Natathrun Sasha's soul into a soul forged, so she had a form to walk around in again. And anytime Colossus was mentioned, she kind of lost her temper a bit, and they were going after him at the time. So I kind of said, good luck. I mean...
So the dragon soul in a soul forged with a wizard, not lover, but lover companion, is going to fight Colossus of the Order of Pale,
Good luck to
Paladin
them.
of Doom.
Yep.
Arterian
Well, that's
is
a story.
some flavor of Fae. I don't know much of our people outside of the seasons.
Are they not seasonal?
No, this person is ancient, even for one of us.
From King Reinhardt's time, when they wear a blindfold. I believe that's something to do with what they were following.
King Reinhardt is not what I would consider ancient, but non-seasonal Fae is far older than us and King Reinhardt. But the blindfold rings a bell. What? Tell me more of this Arterian. Is it Arterian or the dragon that wears the blindfold?
Arterian.
Tell me more of Arterian.
He's a slippery bastard. Beyond that, I don't know a whole lot. Like, looks around at the others.
Kess has to does have a sort of
Sapphire's never letting go of the fact that he could just step out of his grid. It really pissed him off. It's never going to let that go.
Can't be cracking out the level 5 barbarian shit, you know what I mean?
was definitely not that wasn't how he was going to start that pitch.
Bride just looks at Harry. I too am a slippery bastard. Selena gives him a stare.
Wind it in.
Chewing on the cereal bar. Shit! Okay.
Here's a bit of jerky. Off you go.
Yorkshire Terrier in it round back at the sofa. Like all good merfolk. Beyond the nature of their bastardness, Sapphire, are they? What do they look? How are their magics wielded? If they're not seasonal, what other did they? Was it just their name Arterian? Did they have a clan, a tribe, a family? How did they dress? What did they like?
Corsets.
Corsets.
The court of Ari.
The court of Ari.
No.
It's they were from a court,
Blind.
Court of the blind.
but there was
Court
a
of the blind. Bright.
might not be 100% on that, but in our defense, we thought we were giving up our souls to free a dragon. So we were
I'm
a little...
glad you didn't. Bright.
They wheeled. They were able to see past his blindfold. They had that fighter sense I've seen before, where they can see past. That.
Our people before seasons. It's easier to keep it that way. They were very attuned to Colossus. Blindfolded fae, caught of the blind. Bright, please come with me to the libraries. And Selena gets up, and Bright.
Ruby kind of pipes up and goes, I don't think I ever actually met him, but you said he was tall, fair-haired, wore pink.
Most of the time, we weren't necessarily on the best of terms.
Reminded me of the Vey sort of blossom that Sapphire shares.
The cherry blossoms.
Well,
Possibly something in the library might...
come with. Bri, if you would. Yes, my lady. And Bri walks ahead of Selena and again parts the water for you all. Within about 5 minutes, you make your way around to this library that...
Oh shit! So many fucking books!
It's just a library, love. Alright, it's just a library. Calm yourself. Alright, that's right. You go beetroot, motherfucker. Alright? Just voice bombing the stream, you know what I mean? What are you watching? Grey's Anatomy. Oh my god, shoot me. We're supposed
With
to be nerds, love.
pleasure.
We're supposed to be nerds. Alright?
I like watching doctor stuff, but they've got a big
That's not what you
one.
think. I have never, nor ever will, dress up as a nurse.
It's not what I've heard.
Right? You don't say I did, love, on the internet. Alright? Jesus Christ. Alright, just eat your hobnobs. So, as you go into the library, the air bubble there, if it could leave a mark on the floor, looks like it's never been moved, and every book in here is as it was back in the day, and it is just as large as the lounging area. Inside check from my book. The rows and rows of books here is quite extensive. Ari, it reminds you of all your lovely times needing to be scholarly in between your fighting and dancing with Nikolai. There's a single large table there, covered in dust. Doesn't look like Selena or Bri. Or anyone else that may visit the castle spends a lot of time at this table. The chairs, again, are covered in a thin film of dust. Selena is straight over, just going down the rows. It is not in alphabetical order. It is quite chaotic if you care to look. But she is just thumbing through all these different tomes. Some's just rolled up scrolls. Some's just loose parchment, like all stacked in little corners of the thing. It's not a very well organised library, but it is quite vast. Hundreds of reading materials in there. Just give me a moment, and off she goes scooting around the library. And Bride just stands next to you lot, like guarded, hands behind her back.
While she's off being the smart person in the room, it's not a hard push.
Stow upon her the brave cell.
Yeah.
I think she's already got her own. I don't think she needs ours.
She definitely doesn't need ours.
It's on its last legs, let's be honest. Kessel kind of move back towards Bri and ask if it would, how difficult it would be to have an item from his pack brought over to where they are.
I can fetch
something-
it pretty quickly. If I bring all of your things if you want.
I think there's something amongst it that might be of interest to Selena.
Do you wish me to go get them?
If that would be okay and not cause any issue to, just kind of like gestures and
If it is for Lady Selena and it poses no threat, I'll happily.
It's something I think I've had from here. What on earth did you just do?
The amulet comes to life and attacks. Roll 20! Yes, well, a moment. It just disappears. I think I found something. She drags this book off the shelf, brings it over, plonks it down on the table. Dust everywhere.
I like the amount of wumps we've got. That's episode name.
Wumps. I have no idea how many times I'm going to spell that wrong, but so as the dust wumps everywhere, she opens the book. She's like flicking through the pages, and in here it is super old parchment. It is the ink is faded, but the writing, the scripting in here is readable. It is in common, but you can see that it is a variation of common, and a couple of the words don't really make sense. Maybe the way they spell, or there is an element of face scripture in here, so you can see where the common weaves into just smooth. So it looks like chicken scratch to Sapphire, but to Kesfion and Xandria, and probably Ari, who's more educated, it is smoother and more fluid, and does form letterings and words that some of the words jump out at you, but other words again, it's very old is the language used in here. To you, Ruby, it looks like beautiful patterns, like when you see flowers bloom, or just a wasp, bee, anything just floating around, and the pattern it makes in the air in front of you, you see the beauty in its.
It's got a Fibonacci thing going on.
Yeah. Let's assume I have no idea what Fibonacci is. I had a Tamagotchi once. I don't know if that's the same thing.
Fibonacci, like the
spiral. Yeah.
Yes, it's one of them.
The pattern that appears in nature. I'll put a diagram.
I believe you. You're a druid. You're a druid. You're right. It's fine. Yeah. The Tamagotchi's in front of you. They're also
in a northern accent.
There is. I said on Monday geographicalness, and then Lot went, "Do you mean landscape and terrain?" I was like, "Yeah, that's what I should have said. That's what I should have said." So, but you also see imagery that's been scrolled in, like charcoal drawings in, of different fae creatures that. For Kess and Xandria are very similar to the creatures you've lived with, seen both in the Copper Forest and the Oasis of Summer. The stories, Ari, that you've heard of, these pictures match some of those stories. But the one thing, mainly for Kess and Xandria, you can, when you meet another fae that is of a seasonal nature, you know it, whether it's a picture, a story, physically in front of you, you get a feeling, a reaction of the season they may attune to, or lean towards. None of this imagery gives you a season to link to that imagery. Not in a frustrating way or anything. You see them. They don't appear to be jumping out of any of the seasons. A few moments pass with Selena has completely ignored the fact that you're all there, and she's talking like under her breath, trying to think, "I know it's in here somewhere," and she's flicking through the pages. And Kess, your hair, woof, as Bri appears behind you carrying armor.
Thank God, someone
swords,
put it in a ponytail. Jesus,
It'd
it'd be like half off his nose at this point.
Be up everyone's nose. And Bri is there with your things. I brought everything. And just puts it down on the table. Well, looks at the dust on the table, waves her hand, does a magic.
Prestidigitation.
That's what I said. And the
It's the reason I never take that spell.
and the dust. Can you clean me with magic? Nope.
I just refer to it as Prestis.
Yeah, that I say pea magic sometimes, but it gets a bit misinterpreted. So the table is immediately cleaned of dust, and Selena just raises her hand as if it's been done for her. And Bri puts your stuff on the table, the clean table now. Backpack, swords, armour, everything. The one sock.
What happened to the rest of them? He'll kind of sort of scoot around to like the pouch that he knows that he kind of put the amulet. He'd like wrapped it up and popped it away in, and kind of untucks that while Selena's looking for whatever it is that she's expecting to kind of try and locate in that.
Are you just holding it for now?
Yeah, like she's in the middle of something. He wasn't really expecting like Bree to be like, yeah, they were like, oh yeah, we'll get it in like an hour or so. I was like, oh, it's shit. So okay, okay, yes, I'll.
You've already seen her disappear, really.
Yeah, but I thought that was kind of like Selena's having a breakdown here. This is a first aid response.
Different magic.
Yeah. What does Kess know? Nothing. We know this.
Yeah, true.
We'd fuck all.
Selena stops, and she's staring at a page, and she's reading something. Those of you looking at the book, you see a picture of Arterion, or what looks like Arterion. They don't have a blindfold on, but they are in a corset. The picture is, it's just charcoal drawing, so there's no coloration to it.
Go a blindfold on that, and
That's pretty much.
that's your guy.
That's Alterian.
Yes, so now I remember. Grandmother used to speak of this. So here, and like she'll turn the book around to you. So the language is, we don't use this anymore, but so here, so do you know, you don't know anything, do you? Have you heard Nerakai?
Kess is like, well, like I know, but jeez.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I don't mean it.
No,
like,
it's
No. You presume correct.
You-
We know nothing.
so,
Please continue.
Have any of you heard of Nerakai?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. How? Do you know who Nerakai? Like, so Sapphire.
You told me like an hour ago. He's like, I do retain
but before,
something.
but before that, so Nerakai is, they are a leviathan, a water creature that, our family. So I am Selena Nerakai. It is our family name. Kess is Kess, but his surname used to be Nerakai. Nerakai is the witness of the end of a story. They were born of the tsunami in the water plains. There's a whole story behind it. We can speak of it later, but Arterion
Kess is like pointedly not looking at the pointedly.
Arterion is before the seasonal fair, and then she's like flicking back a few pages, and she's like pointing at that writing like it's the most obvious thing in the world. There were Seelie and Unseelie. It's still mentioned amongst the mortals now, the humans and such. It was Seelie and Unseelie, or the courtless. There was a greyness amongst the fair before Whisper came in and introduced summer and spring and winter and autumn to us. But before then, there was this, and Arterion, like, the name didn't mean a lot, but now, and Arterion isn't of the court of the blind. Arterion's curse is the court of the blind, and it was Nerakai that cursed Arterion, because You said Natathrin was his lover, his companion, or something. Arterian, Nerekai witnessed the end of a story, and Arterian stopped the end of the story. Arterian stepped in and blocked it. The scripture here says there was a great battle and stuff, but I'm sure it's just, there for stories. But Nerekai and Arterian once clashed over the story's supposed to end, and Arterian didn't let it happen, and the curse was the Seelie walk in the light and the Unseelie walk in less of the light. But Arterian was cursed never to lay eyes on the light again, and that's the blindfold. And the court of the blind was something that got created as a brand, as a mark upon Arterian, so everyone knew that when a story is to end, Nerekai will witness its end, and that's Arterian. If this is the Arterian you're speaking of, then and the court of the blind, Nerekai, and like gestures at Kest, Nerekai cursed Arterian. How that's sorry, I was,
just got like that look of, well, glad I met him as a fucking Summerbreeze, that's for sure.
Imagine if you'd have dug into your backstory first.
I don't think I would still be around to I think Nerekai would have met me again much sooner.
But yes, that's I knew it was. But the story's end. Maybe the dragon.
Something to do with Nataf and Sasha.
You said the dragon. Yes. Wow, that was. I didn't expect that. Don't tell.
Yeah.
If this Arterian is a acquaintance of yours.
I'm glad I told him I was Summerbreeze.
What a small world.
And getting smaller by the second.
Are you going to battle? Notices your things on the table.
I wanted to, and somehow goes to look for it and realizes he kind of got distracted by the fact he was already holding it, but it was still kind of reveling at the. Well, that was a close one. The relief that only kind of comes from knowing just how close to a big oopsie you could have been. And kind of like unwraps it from kind of the scrap of cloth that you've been keeping it in, and kind of passes it across to Selena. It's something that Drea and my mother had found on me when I showed up in the desert. She tried to look into it a little bit, but makes a little bit more sense now. But it seems stupid now, but I thought you might like to see it. And kind of passes it across.
As she sees it, there is she takes a gulp, and you can almost imagine that lump, that stone in her throat. Her eyes well up, and she just takes the amulet. I've not seen this for a very long time. It was Mother's. I didn't know you had it.
It's only come into my possession recently.
I didn't even look for it. I just assumed it was.
Gone.
Yes. Yeah. It is. It's nice to see it again. And you can see she's kind of like almost like teddy bear holding it. It's just as beautiful as I remember. She gives it back to you.
And kind of wraps it again. Kind of gives it a wee squeeze.
I've missed you so much, brother. All of them. Knowing you got free, seen sacrifice, the aftermath. I sang for so long. I don't know how to word. And you come here by accident is truly a gift from Nerekai.
Hopefully not to see the end of any stories anytime soon.
Well, that's the good thing of being a witness. Our stories end last, or at least so we used to tell the children of our lineage. There is so much about to be happening, and the many more Kelpian sirens and more of our kith and such will be arriving soon. There'll be a great song sung. It is more a tradition, and it would warm my heart to have you sing it with me at least once in our lifetime. It is it's just a silly family tradition thing we do.
He kind of turns to the rest of the party. I would, if possible, really like to stay for this.
Don't let us stop you, brother. Spend as much time as you want, and join in with the song.
Thank you.
I mean, you're all welcome to. Ari, maybe stay by my side when we begin singing, and I will make sure it's only my voice you hear. But yes, well, the song is this evening, and I know you were about to go to sleep and must be tired, and it's more midday here now. So if you do feel
barely left the Tone Highlands, so it's not too much of a stretch. It's where we had been travelling from when
your friends and your sister said they were in Ravenholm. It's a long. I just assumed it's a long way, but
walk us between the trees. It took us.
Of course. So well, yes, we have the day. Let's. How can I help? How like you are to venture and kill or face wizards and demons and ancient death and ancient Sealy Fae or not Fae. I don't understand that part, but
hopefully we won't need to face.
How are you at finding boats?
I'm a siren.
I thought so.
Why do we need to find a boat?
Because Corbin's on a boat.
Oh, and it's Corbin, yes. They're both on boats at this point.
How do you know?
Oh, we scried.
Ah, you can scry.
And and then we've since heard we've been told that one of his friends is very cross that he stole said friend's boat. So
Would it not
we
just
know
be
it is.
quicker to sink the boats?
No, because knowing Colbin, he'll have a way out.
Called swimming.
Depends how far he is out from.
If
Ruby turns into a shark. What?
there's
Oh, so now you're
yeah.
up for.
just flapping around on the floor like maybe. If you get me near the boat or wish me to be near the boat, I can drown a sailor or two.
Don't tempt me. Said a little bit too loudly.
Bry is.
What was
You look across the Bry. You look across the Bry who has finished the jerky, and at the mention of attacking a boat and people going overboard, you can see Bry now looks like what Harry did when he was first charmed, and Bry is charmed by the tale of drowning sailors. I volunteer myself. Of course you do, Bry.
There is only one on the boat.
One, I'm
No.
there for you.
Of all the people on the boat, there is only one that is not innocent. Is not the right word. We're only after one of them. The rest of them we have no quarrel with.
Surely the others are just as
Guilty by a...
yes. And
Yes.
I am happy to help you deal with those guilty ones while you deal with the one. As a favour to my lady and her newfound brother and extended family. Bry is
Ruby.
ready to go now. She's ready to go now.
Ruby
Like the
is
count.
more forgiving.
Some of us are not.
I will forgive all of them during my conversation with them. You can see
This is what you're
fangs
planning to do
appear.
to me, was it?
Are you a sailor?
No.
Funny enough.
You would have enjoyed it.
Would I though?
It's kind of a perk. You might not have seen the ending, but you would definitely have enjoyed the journey. Selena's like, Bry? Just, Bry steps back, puts her hands behind her back again, goes into guarded position. Her fangs just go back up. Just winks at Harry. No magic involved.
Xandria is literally just...
Behind Harry, like cracking salt on his head. Well,
Give my tasty human over here.
yeah.
What's that Timon and Pumbaa scene? Yeah.
You could be a big too. You ate it. Yep. Anyway, yeah, we have the day. Come with me. Look, you need to see more of the castle. We can talk, discuss. There is history here. There is knowledge here you could use. There is magics here that I can give you access to, and you. I know it's not your home, Kesvion, but there is a lot of you here that maybe we can awaken, and you can maybe remember. But even if not, at least I just like to walk the castle with you for a while. Even walk the castle with your friends.
Who is like just? What are you doing to your mic? Who is it? And why are you molesting that poor microphone when we're trying to have a heart-to-heart here? Like, I will come through this screen, guys.
But not you.
No, it's somebody's like getting a wee bit of ASMR going on.
Is it this sound?
Like, yes, you!
Yeah, it's me.
I was like, which one of you are just sitting there?
I've got a
bent
Father's
over-
Day coaster.
Oh,
that no one
We can't see. Yeah.
Yeah.
and you're just...
Rotating it in my hands, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be
This is
awkward
on
and
the
fidgety,
carpet,
alright?
yeah.
This is, yeah.
It's working.
And I've eaten my hobnobs, so.
I
Show
Right,
everyone
well,
and if boss spend some time with Xandria and
love to hear about them all. If you'd like to talk about them.
I very much would, and I would never wish to presume that you are Kesvion Summerbreeze, but I knew you as somebody else, and I'd like to get to know Kesvion Summerbreeze. And if you want to get to know who I knew, then I'm here to share that as well.
Please. I would like that a lot.
Well, in that case, the first thing I'll do is, and she just summons, just conjures a tall mirror out of thin air. And it's alright, there's no vampires in it.
No, he's mostly, like, he has a minute of fucking no, it's fine, it's okay.
Yeah.
As long as it's
Order
not
attack.
fucking wizards.
Roll initiative. You
Cool, the swords are back in the room, it's cool,
and you see your reflection, silver tunic, the hair tied back in a ponytail. It's probably the first true image you've seen of yourself in this attire, and obviously you know it's you, but it's so alien. And Selena just stands next to you. This Kesvion Summerbreeze. This is my younger brother, Avalon Nerekai. And just gestures to the reflection of yourself. So, let us walk and talk. Bri kind of readjusts. Go meet our guests as they will be arriving, and just make sure preparations are ready for the song. Yes, my lady, of course. They head away, hit the water, and as they hit the water and the fishtail arrives, they kind of turn, roll backwards, swim backwards, just waving at you a lot. Probably waving at one of you more than the rest. Selena waves a hand, the mirror disappears. So, Kesvion, Xandria, Ari, Ruby and Sapphire.
That's us.
Welcome to Castle Nerekai, home of the Violet Leviathan and witnesses to Story's End. I am known to some as Lady Selena, Lady of the Loch, from many other tales told by the halflings and gnomes and such of the Highlands. Follow me for a tour. I'll make sure the water allows you through, and I'm not as adept at it as Bri, but I'll keep you dry. Want to see your old?
Sapphire.
Want to see your old room, Kesvion?
Yeah. Yes. So he's already completely overwhelmed. Like, yeah, just clinging onto this amulet with both hands. It's still wrapped neatly, and to kind of with the context of now just how rare in his eyes it now is. And it follows her where she leads.
She takes you to a flight of stairs that go further up into the castle ground, the castle building itself. Heading up them, there is, again, everywhere you go, there is this decoration of this Violet Leviathan. You get to a long landing. There are a lot of doors on this landing. Considering the portrait was 6 adults, 14 kids, there's no shock. And this corridor stretches far out and curves at the far end. And you can imagine that there is a semi-horseshoe shape around the castle area that you're in now at the moment. And all these large doors. She does indeed keep the water away from yourselves, and kind of just as Bri was able to make a full channel, whereas Selena only makes a space big enough for you all to walk in, and the water kind of folds in behind you as you go further and further in, and then opens in front, etc., etc. Going up the stairs onto this large landing, only one of them, two of them have double doors, and the rest are large single doors. Taking you past the two double doors, Selena runs her hand on the doors and the stone wall, and then to the next doors as she's walking down. She goes quiet for a moment as she's taking steps, and you can clearly see there is memory here for her. She is, what you do notice is there is dust, kind of, or it's less dust and more thick grime that when the water's there, it obviously just, it's heavy and like kind of sits atop of the stone floor, but when the water is moved, there's just a thick film of it. There's not a lot of disturbance that happens on this level of the castle.
Yeah.
Selena gets to a door maybe 4 or 5 down, puts her hand on it and just pushes it open. Again, she casts her magics and the water opens up, and the room is, it's a decent size. It is definitely large enough for an adult to use as a room, but you can see immediately that probably someone of a younger nature this was their room. The cot bed is shorter, not babe length, like young toddler-esque or a tall toddler. There is a desk in there. The wood is kind of like, as the water moves, it was just floating just off the stonework. As the water moves, it kind of drops down, and you think it's going to go because it's been in the water so long. But what you've noticed with the woodwork in the town and in the castle is it's obviously arcanely treated or holds different properties to just, tree number 5. In the far corner, there is a blanket of sorts that is a little bit rough and ready, but still in one piece, very large, and it's just in the corner. Your immediate memory of it is the way it's set out, and there are small wooden figurines on the floor, but it reminds you of like back in the tent with Zerin and such, Mar and Par of the desert, where that'd be where you just sat and chilled out, like while mother and father were doing stuff. I'm cooking, stay on the mat, that sort of mentality. And even though it's not a memory that just strikes you, it is a recognized feeling. Like there is and you look about this, and Selena is able to move enough water for you all to walk in, but the water's like right on the walls. Like she can only just cover the bedroom itself, or the room. This is my little brother's room. This was once yours, I guess, Phil.
He just kind of stands there for a couple of seconds, just kind of taking it all in. There's obviously similarities to, like you said, the sit on the mat, kind of stuff, like the things that he remembers a parallel to, but at the same time, some of it is so incredibly polar opposite. You've got big, strong stone castle walls in cool waters compared to the sometimes blustery, sandy desert and sort of just ambient flapping of kind of tents. And he's almost kind of like wandering through, like trying to awaken anything, but at the same time knowing.
Give me a history check.
A child. Just a child. A child. Sorry, I've had my notes open as opposed to my sheet.
How dare you, while playing D&D.
I know, look at me taking notes. Be proud of me. I mean, you're probably not going to be super proud of the roll. For an intelligence check, it's not my worst. That's a 14.
14. The wooden figurines spark something. You take a couple of steps forward. You don't. It's like you said. It's exactly like you said.
Yeah.
It's the same as any setup for a child, whether it be castle, tent, forest,
Yeah.
a halfling hut. It's a similar setup. The figurines on the floor kind of tug on a memory, and when you look down at them, there is one of a camel, one of a palm tree. There is a flat one that's got a bit of blue colour into it, and if you put them together, you could probably make a little desert scene out of the wooden figurines in the corner. Are you okay, Casfield?
It's just a little funny. It's like a little desert scene.
I suppose you're right. Never really. I mean, looks back at Xandria.
Kind of picks up the little camel. And sort of, because obviously I'm presuming if he's kind of like knelt down or like crouched down enough to see it, there's probably a grown ass kelpie in the way of them being like,
Yeah.
cool, yeah, there's kind of sort of shows up. It's like the little palm tree and everything. It's so similar to what I do have memory of, while still somehow being so foreign. Drea and I sat on a mat like this inside the tent that we grew up in and played with similar toys and just kind of looks around the room, and it's...
But we didn't have private bedrooms.
There's definitely kind of like taps though. It's like, yeah, it would have helped in a couple of the storms, having something a little bit stronger. Would have been a bit cold here for you though, Drea.
Just a tad. And a bit wet.
Yes.
And I'm sure you understand just as well. So then it's so frustrating to feel so close to familiarity and just be...
The last time I saw you, I was very much the taller of us two.
Time has definitely passed.
It has.
But we know of each other now.
This is true, and you're home for the holidays.
It's been unfair. I've asked so much of you for background on here. I've never offered really the same in return. I'm desperate to learn about our family.
will
But
tell you everything you wish. You've
Like-
already started answering questions I didn't even know I wanted to ask, just by the stories and tales your friends and family have already. I wanted to get to know you, and I can already see that you are weaving a story of your own. Rather than being the witness, you're fully in there. It's
a very poetic way of saying up to my armpits in more trouble than I can deal with. But
most protagonists are.
unfortunately,
It's nice to see you broke the mold.
sometimes witnessing might be the smarter decision, but as I'm sure Drea will tell you with great joy, I was not the one of the two of us raised with brains of the operation.
Smarts are overrated, dear brother. I'm a little bit biased for my siren ways and sorcerer's ways. Encourage me to rely on the lack of intelligence in people I converse with. Just kind of puts her head down a little bit and avoids eye contact with Harry.
Out there.
Well, I'm not sure you want to see everybody's bedroom, but there's more to walk. Maybe not right now. Maybe we can spend a bit more time just talking. But after the song this evening,
Yeah,
would
Sorry,
you
I-
like to see or visit their? Well, the word we used to use, it's a little bit, a bit of a play on the word, but it's what the humans would call a resting place. But if they translated our fair word, it would be epilogue, because of Nerekai, and they're simple folk, but we found it amusing and didn't see fit to change. But it is their resting place, if you wish.
please.
But we will get there, and yes. So the song is this evening when the stars are out. I do have to say, when we sing, a path to the realm of fiends will open, but no fiend or fae may travel it. And the reason is because of where we are from as do you know
she has become, I feel like, even just in the brief, like, of the, you really gonna do I know?
Do you know of Diabolena? You do not. Ruby, give me a history check.
We're in the Highlands.
Well, while Ruby's doing a history check, do you want to spell that for the rest of us?
It's like diabolic, but ends in Ena instead.
It's not far off. Diaballena. Diabolena. Which could be pronounced 1,000 different ways, but when you're from the north.
Go. Just so I can add it to the notes.
Ruby?
18.
18. You know that word, for it is mingled in with the tales of the demonic horse creature, like a water horse that runs the rivers and the lakes and the streams and the becks of the Highlands, and takes
No relation whatsoever, honestly.
Kelpie, eh? Kelpie.
yeah.
Kelpies, no Kelpies.
of the Highlands and whisks away those that are not paying attention, you know, young and old. They are a devil, a demon, a fiend that once corrupted a aquatic court of sorts, a fae court, and brought demonic creatures into it to feed on the fae and steal their powers of, you know, their fae magics of what you know to be kelpies.
I'm really sorry because it's turned to 11. Could you just give me the context that we heard the word in again, please?
The context being they're responsible for kelpies existing, and they did it by demonic ways.
No, I literally mean, did Selena just say the word in a sentence?
Yes.
Could you repeat
Yeah,
that
have we
sentence?
heard it?
Oh,
Have we heard it?
she asked
Yeah.
Kess if he'd heard of the word. That's all she asked. Have you heard of the
Kess
word
went,
Diabolena?
"No."
Kess shook his head. You had a memory rush.
Like in the old, in the stories,
That there are many
they
stories.
take you away if you go too near the pond when you're not supposed to, and
Yes.
that's what you tell. It's what you tell halfling children. That's how you keep them away from water when you can't supervise them. It's that Diabolina will come and get you and take you away, but they are actually water demons, aren't they?
Diabolena is a fiend from that realm, and they are water demons. Yes. They corrupted several fae creatures using the blood of what you would call a unicorn, and those creatures, or at least those, how do I say it, in those versions of those demonic creatures became known as kelpies, but there are also pure fae kelpie, and gestures towards Casriel. But there are also Diabolena's kelpies that are of a demonic fae nature, using the blood of what you would call a unicorn. And the song is part of our family's tradition to acknowledge that herd of, again, gestures to Ruby, of unicorns. The end of their story was taken from them, and we open the path to encourage their essence to return. But no true fae or true fiend can walk that path, and never have they ever returned. But we refuse to, or those of the Loch refuse to give up.
Looks at Ruby quite pointedly.
Is with a word I can have a unicorn stood in front of you now. Is that a really good idea or a really bad idea? Because honestly, all of this is so far beyond the realm of my very limited intelligence.
Looks at the bedroom you're in. Maybe.
Don't think it
unless
would fit.
Unless it grows from the earth or needs healing, it's really beyond my realm of expertise. I follow this lot around with a healing spell and I make the tea. That is really all I do. So if I'm asking stupid questions, I'm very sorry.
I just summoned my brother from tree magic by accident. There are no stupid questions, Ruby. I will, however, give an answer to that. Probably not here, but
Won't be like right here. I meant, is this a ritual that, you know, if it's for?
it depends who the unicorn is, where you're summoning them from.
his name is Khan. I don't know where, but, and she holds up the pile. If I say the name while I'm holding this, 18-hander.
Impressive. Definitely not in here then. I don't think it's one of the unicorns that were sacrificed, but and I don't know if they'd be very happy with learning of that if they were here, but if they are a friend of yours, they are welcome. Are they likely to try and rush into the fiendish realm to...
Honestly, I don't know.
It's probably best, Ruby, we just don't.
Okay.
Well, so, Xandria, what do you do?
Mostly
That's
she's
entirely in character. He's like, I'm just gonna go put this little. I'm gonna go chuckle to myself. Go put this little camel back down. What does Andrea not do?
Generally, I carry out the will of Malika.
I mean, sell the CV to throw around. Good. Good. How's that going?
Can't say I've had many problems.
What's
She
the-
still has use for me.
I've never seen the axe associated with Malika. Is that just decoration or? Okay, okay, I apologise.
It's just, what, the rest of the party all of a sudden be like,
Tess, do you need help putting that camel back down? show me your little desert scene there, Tess.
It's a new development.
a lovely
It's-
rug.
It's not one I am particularly pleased about. However, I have sworn to uphold an honor, repay a debt, so to speak.
Is okay. If you need help repaying the debt, please just ask.
I have a feeling it's going to be a lifetime.
I live a while, so I'm here if you're okay with it. Maybe we should move away from the horse summoning room and back out onto the balcony area. Where next? I know. Follow me. And she starts heading back down the way you came back down the stairs. Again, parting the water for you. And she takes you to... There is a iron door in front of you. Can one... Maybe Sapphire or Ruby or Ari, can you open the door, please? Guess, Xandria, don't touch the door.
Sapphire moves forward. Maybe it's made of iron. Like, starts opening it.
It is, and it is
Why?
a variety of iron that it's
Why do we
what do they call this?
have that?
Because I'll show you.
He's like, why is that in the house?
To stop sticky fingers going in the big boy room.
Ari is way too curious as to exactly how much fey blood he has.
Yeah,
He's like,
Ruby's kind of
lick it.
thinking like... Ruby's
100%.
like,
Who opens the door?
would it be bad to get
Yeah,
in touch
Sapphire would do
and
it.
see what it
Sapphire will
does?
open it, but Ari might trail his fingers along it as he walks in.
Okay.
Take your fingerprints off your knuckle.
So Sapphire opens the door, and so as you're opening, this is like there's some resistance in it, but you're a chunky lad, and you lean into it and are able, and it scrapes along the stone. It's almost maybe a millimetre or two too big for the portal it's in, and you have to force it open. There is a rush of like water that just comes flying at you, and immediately Selena has to step forward and use her magics to kind of like maneuver it away from you, but you just half get drenched, half not, then drenched again. It's the worst water slide you've ever been on in your life. And consistency. We need consistency with this waterness. And eventually she clears the room, and you push through, and the door opens up. I just need to know if you touch the door, Harry.
Yes.
Kessens, Andrea, are you listening to ancient historical sister?
Look, I am very aware that there was a magic, fae killing, pure, scary, big bad iron dagger going about, and have seen it with my own eyes. And seen what
With
it's
my
done.
own 2 eyes.
Ruby was about to ask,
touching
is
that
it made
shit.
of knife iron? When she said it's a particular variety, Ruby was like, oh, it's a knife iron then.
Give me a constitution saving throw. As you walk past it, Harry, there is a... You kind of stick to it, like when you lick frost. And you can't pull your hand away. Well, we're about to find out.
That's a dirty 20 then.
Ooh, you can pull your hand away. And you only take 16 points of just damage. No damage type, just 16 points of damage.
He has instant regret.
That was halved, by the way.
Yeah.
Where your fingers touch
That
the
much.
door, there is a... imagine if your hand was bloody and you'd left a handprint on the door. That's what you lot see, is the fingerprints of Harry in almost blood on this door. The entire door shimmers a rustic red, as if the iron had rusted, and then returns to its dark grey coloration, but still has the reddish fingerprints of Harry, and they slowly fade away.
Ari,
Maybe...
what
Are
would
you
possess you?
stupid?
I...
Ruby
Literally,
gives some...
Just
Just
been
found
told.
out that your
Like,
part.
why would you do it?
You can see that Sapphire is just like,
My...
it's not me.
Ruby
My
gives Selena
apologies.
a look of...
Sorry, Ari. I didn't know. I didn't know.
This is why I was curious. I didn't know until a few days ago.
Curious.
Why would you put
maybe
your hand in it?
ask? Maybe. Again, I'm sorry. I wasn't aware.
Don't be sorry, Selena. It's not your fault. He's an idiot.
Now I know. If it makes you feel better, once Bri finds out, you're fine.
Ruby gives Selena of... do you see what I have to deal with? This is why I follow them around with healing spells. And then just touches Ari, and I will use my
No, he
racial...
doesn't. He has not earned it.
just slaps the druid's hand like, no, you'll never learn.
So,
It is, I think, to do... 10.
are you healing? So while
Yeah,
you're
healing hands.
cool.
Oh, equal to my level, so yes, once per long rest, I can do. So with an eye roll that only a teenage girl can really achieve, I will give Ari a healing hand.
Ari, you receive healing of whatever Ruby tells you.
10.
Selena steps through and gestures to this room. There are many alcoves and there are many glass cases. The alcoves are empty and the cases are empty. To the side, so almost to the, so you walk in at the side of the room, and to the center of it, there is a what's the word? Like an easel, like the painters. It is an easel, isn't it?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
one thing.
Yep.
It's a bit like an easel, and it's got a large, rolled up scroll at the top, parchment rolling down, a huge piece of parchment on there, and next to it is a pot of ink and a feathered quill. Despite the water being in here and then being moved away, so we are here. We call it the stories of Nerekai, because the things in here are from the past, and we can recall them using and gestures over to the parchment and ink, and then they will come before us and use them or wear them or invoke them. In the common tongue, it is an armory of sorts of things witnessed and stories. Once they've ended, they come here. That some of the things are craft. Some of grandfather was quite the artificer. He could create things, but we can talk about that. But the things here that I can show and maybe can help you with your sailor wizards and your demons and Arterian and a moment. And just she looks over her shoulder, and Bry is swimming through the water at a rapid pace towards you lot. Through the water into the armory area. As they land, her tail, like mid-air, changes to legs. They full on Iron Man land it. My lady, we just stay here. Not stay here. We need to move. You lot, Caspian, what did you pick up your armor and weapons, or did you leave them on? So you've just got them in. So you're just carrying them. I don't know if you were going back. When you took off the necklace, they found you. And the look on Selena's face is pure fear as she grips at the necklace again, looks at you lot, and starts panicking. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And you hear a voice, one that you recognise a lot, Sapphire, as you was quite close to this 20-foot large demon. Well, little siren. Seems you weren't dead after all, just hiding, and in the place I thought you'd left. I'm coming now, little siren, and this time you will sing for me. And that...
Phantom of the fucking Opera.
And that is where we end the session.
Come on, kids, time to kill demon god!
Just about to say, I'd like the look of fear on her face, like shillelagh.
Shillelagh!
Yeah. That
I
happened
have had this
instantly.
extra
No.
sister for less than 24 hours, but if you hurt her, I will kill everyone.
I am just as much a victim to story dice as you are. We will see.
Oh my
We will
god.
see. Fight hard, kids. Fight
Oh my
hard.
god.
So, end of
Oh
session.
my god.
There isn't another stream before the UK Games Expo. So the next time
'Cause
you'll
it's
see
like
us,
tomorrow.
So the next time you see us will be next week. Please do join us on Monday for When Glory's Not Enough. Please do join us on Saturday for When This Shit Gets Real. If you haven't guessed, Roll20 will be a go-go next Tuesday. Time to get your level 10s out, kids. So yes, we're going to do it. Oh, you're dropping a dew drop. That's because you come in late, Ash. Shana's on, is she not? I think I saw
Yep.
the go live. So we're going to raid Ashana, say hello, give her the heavyweight love and the gravy times. Yeah, brilliant. Law
Just
drops.
quickly, I
Law.
think we've
Go.
got one last vampire on Sunday night.
Yes, on Sunday it will be the final vampire, it'll be the wrap up, it will be the climatic end to what Dice of the Beholder have been running on their Sundays. So you can join Ruby and others on the channel getting their vampire on. So please tune into that. I'll shout about it on Twitter, etc., etc. Right, we're going to raid Ashana, but for now, say good night, players.
Good night,
Good night,
players.
players.